Welcome, one and all, to episode 3 of the Lagerlogs. Points of View with Tom and Stu. I'm Tom, he's Stu. Say hello, Stu.
Hello, brewers.
What?
Send us your beers.
Bit too early with that one, bud.
No,
Make it at least look like we're trying to,
please, cut to the point. Beer me now.
Can you just try and make it look like we're at least pretending to not do this for free beer? We have an interest in this. We're not just raging alcoholics. You've blown
sorry.
it, but you know what you haven't blown though? Actually saying hello. I'd put a bet on it. I'd Huddersfield Town to win the championship and Stu to start singing Lionel Richie at the start of the show. I'm halfway there. That's 50% won. Just there with you saying that. Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna get
that. That's it. No little bit of dancing on the ceiling for us. You will be after the Hobgoblin. Guys, it's Friday night. I know there's no place I'd rather be. Drayton Manor's closed. Other than here with my good friend, associate, ballroom dancing partner, Mr. Stu. Can we go full names or have they been changed to protect the innocent?
Yeah, do you want your full name out there?
Well, I was going to say I'm with Mr. Stuart Sutherland and me, Mr. Thomas George Michael Kent Williams, but that's a topic for a whole other show that we'll probably record in a public toilet somewhere. No, we're here tonight to do.
It's got good acoustics in there.
Yeah, really
that's
good. If you
why.
ever tried the bathroom setting on iTunes, it's amazing. You can literally hear the liquids flowing. We're here tonight to do what we do best, and that's trade recipe tips. But secondly, and what I think we're actually going to record, is some alcoholic beverage reviews.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some laughs, some guffaws, some titters. Just a real roller coaster of different emotions tonight. So, Stu, what's the meaning of life?
I mean, if I was able to paraphrase the Conan speech and mix it up with ransacking your local home bargains for cheap brew. So I could imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger saying something mildly misogynistic about old Speckled Hen.
Why Arnie? Why bring Arnie into this? I mean,
Just when I was referencing Conan,
the
barbarian. Yes.
Oh, of course. I thought you meant Conan, the ginger fella.
Oh no, not
Sorry,
the
man.
Tonight host. Yeah.
My head. Yeah, my
not
mind
my Conan.
went somewhere else. I thought he liked old Speckled Hen. He somehow had a deal with it. He's more of a Guinness man. I thought.
I thought it just other connection. They're both kind of ginger. On appearance.
Yeah, and they've both got fantastic haircuts. I mean, Arnie's had that flat top.
I'm talking about the old Speckled Hen. It's got a ginger appearance there. What are we starting with?
Yeah, let's get into that. I mean, I was going to tell everyone I've got a new toothpaste, but that's fine. I'm going to pass on to the rest of the intro. Yeah, man.
Keep going.
Let's crack open our first sherbet, shall we? Let's get into it.
Have you sampled both of these before?
Yeah, experienced drinker when it comes to these two bad boys, but these both are new experiences for you. Am I correct, Amundo? Fantastic, man. So I can't wait to hear your reactions. So let's crack into the old Speckled Hen first, shall we?
Okie doke.
All right, I'm going to get you got your bottle opener ready?
Yes.
What a legend. Coming prepared. Ooh, that smells a bit like farts.
Don't say that. I haven't even opened it yet.
What's happened there? Smells lovely. You open, bud?
Yep.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
I haven't poured yet. I'm doing a you. I'm
having a nice whiff of it.
I was going to do you then swig out the bottle, but I'm going to be the gentleman and drinking out of a glass.
Yeah,
because
give us that inspection of it. Now, this is it. I am fully prepared for my beers this evening because I've just finished having a kebab for my tea. I know, I'm kind of doing it in reverse order. You're supposed to have a few pints first, then the kebab.
And do that.
And then it was like, right, kebab, chips, little sprinkle of salt right out the plastic tube that it comes in, not like a little salt shaker, right out, like the 1 pound tub. What's that right way? It's like the container of salt.
He hasn't even drank yet. Shake
then, yeah, and then accidentally just there's like a white Christmas, and it's like fuck, drowned my chips.
I think that was just your dandruff.
So just hey, let's not get that personal. Jesus Christ, Tom.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say, so you puked, you kicked a window in, then you had a kebab, and then you drank 8 pints. So you did it the complete reverse.
Yes.
Tonight. You look a bit tired.
I should hopefully be sober by the end of the night if that continues. But no, I have had a kebab, some salty chips, and I am in need of some very light refreshments. I say light.
I think that's 2 of your 5 fruit groups there. So this is being the 3rd one. So cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Ah. Aha. Yes.
That isn't bad.
It's nice, buddy. This is a pretty classic strong bitter, sitting at a tasty 5%. We got another brewski brew by the historical Greene King. Asterisk, see last episode for more on those guys. Have they paid us yet or not?
No. In exposure, maybe, but no.
I knew my nudes were going to get out there somehow. As I mentioned last show too, there's a strong ale version of this.
Right.
Old crafty hen. If you're in in a bit more of a rush to get pissed up, I do really like that version. It's a nice, deeper take on the same recipe. There's quite a few, yeah. What's your first impressions of it, bud?
It isn't bad. Like, they've kind of nailed it by saying distinctive on the bottle. Like, English Pale Ale. Man, what was the... I know we've only done like 3 episodes. Well, this is our 3rd episode, but what was the other Pale Ale we've tried?
So, we did... Trooper was a strong bitter. We did Chang, which was a lager. We did the IPA Reserve.
Right, so it's maybe a bit similar to this.
Similar kind of taste, I would say. Even though that one being an IPA and this one being more of a kind of classic bitter / pale ale, they've got a very similar taste. I would say quite smooth. Unless you're talking about Hobgoblin.
No, that had.
Which I'm sure you never want to speak about again.
True, it also had a distinctive taste.
Very distinctive taste, yeah.
That taste was...
I couldn't have put it better myself, buddy. But yeah, there's a bunch in this family. There's old Golden Hen. You guessed it, a golden ale version. An old Nutty Hen. And no, I'm not talking about my mother-in-law. Sound like a dog then, panting. Whoops. Old Hoppy Hen is the standard bitter variant of this, which is like a lower, I think it's 4.2%. I have had this on cask, and for me, it's a lot more distinctive in its bottle form. I don't believe I've had this one on draft, but I think out the bottle it's perfect. But it's, as you're saying, quite similar to Greene King's IPA Reserve. Similar. It's got a similar kind of character to it.
On the back of the bottle, it mentions it's a distinctive and delicious toffee malt character.
Yeah, not really getting the toffee, getting a bit of malt. But again, it's more kind of smooth than anything for me.
Yeah, smooth's alright. Good word to use.
Not a lot of bitterness to it, just nice and kind of crisp. Crisp would be the right word, I would say. But yeah, there's a whole family of beers in the kind of hen range. As I would definitely recommend the darker version, the stronger ale version. It is very, very nice. But lovely taste to it.
See, it has a social media mentioned on the back of it at Speckled Henry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should really we should kind of re-upload or I don't know what the kids call it these days.
I know who I'm going to tag tonight.
What?
I've done it. I've left them speechless.
I can see what you did there. I see what you did there, and I like it. You old crafty hen. I was just saying we should like reopen our MySpace page because we did close that due to lack of interest. But I think we should reopen it because
if I can remember,
we need some social media at least.
If I can remember my password, I'm sure I'll be able to get my Bebo back.
Yeah, Bebo was a good one, to be honest. Or we just go in Habbo Hotel and just kind of spam it. Just, guys, have you seen the Lager Logs? I mean, I know you're busy trying to kind of pick up children here, but have you been on the Lager Logs? Because it's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Because, yeah, we need some kind of social media, I would say. We need to get on that. I hear the kids talking about it a lot these days. So here we go with what I think is actually a regular part of the show now. Last Beers Watched. Stu, what have you been getting your lips around the last week?
Well, last weekend I've been playing. I've been very well behaved, unlike yourself.
Me? No. What?
I've only had one little tin of craft, a little craft ale.
The crafty one, did you?
I picked up a tin from Aldi's called Freak Ale Works Phantom Pale Ale.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. You were saying this was Aldi's own brew scheme,
yeah? When I was having a look for, like, again, having a wee swatch for the social media on the back of the label, because Aldi likes to kind of promote themselves. So, of course, they all like to get their picture, get tagged on Instagram and things like that, send us a cheeky like. And I couldn't find anything on them.
You're so old doing that then. It's like saying to me if I'd say a cheeky like. I hear that's what the kids are going for on social media.
we're in it for the retweets, the follow backs.
The what?
The Throwback Thursdays.
Hello? Is this on?
Follow us on Fridays. And then don't use the social media account through Saturday to Wednesday.
I think that's healthy. I think that's definitely healthy. I think it's a good idea.
But yeah,
I think that's some sage wisdom that you're handing out to the youth. TikTok like every day though, right?
No, of course.
Of course. Stupid question. Sorry.
Oh, Jason Derulo and that pish. The guy has to say his name at the start of every song, just so you know.
Did you look him up on Spotify today?
So, yes, this little craft beer, this little Phantom Pale Ale, when I looked on the back of the tin, it was produced specifically for Aldi's.
That's amazing, that is, man. That's amazing. I don't know
whoever brewed it got no credit, but it is made specifically for Aldi's. It wasn't bad. It was just like a nice little tin, funky artwork, and it wasn't bad.
More like a zesty pale ale, or like an IPA, or was it more? It's just more like it was like more like kind of an English pale ale, more kind of malty and.
I'd say maybe like in comparison to old Speckled Hen, since this is the English pale ale, it would maybe be a little bit stronger, more bitter.
Okay, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
They've got their own. I mean, I don't know any other supermarket that has their own like craft beer. Well, they have a craft beer section, but not their own craft beer brand, which I think is awesome that they're putting it out there. Was it fairly cheap as well?
Yeah, it was something like just like a £1 tin.
Bargain. So, absolute bargain.
Exactly. It was worth the gamble.
Oh, fantastic, man. I'm glad you had a pretty decent week on that one. It's always a bit touch and go.
Exactly.
In Aldi.
There's always a good chance it could be absolute pish.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I think especially with stuff that, it's not well established. It's all kind of different, new stuff. It's always a bit hit and miss. But, that's what it's all about, man. Getting out there and trying different stuff and supporting people, that producing the stuff, because we drink it, they make it. It's how the world goes round. On my side, I had a pretty cool week. Saturday, I don't know why I went to Robert De Niro then.
I saw the face.
Did you see the face?
Aye.
Pretty cool week.
Yeah, the voice didn't work, but the face, aye.
That day, I tucked into Sharp's Atlantic Pale Ale. Whilst cheating profusely at pool, which was a fairly spicy to my taste IPA, a few herbal tones, but it was nice, nice kind of different different kind of beer. Hadn't ever had it before, so I thought I'd have a quick go on that. Wednesday night, shout out to my boy Scotty, who I know is definitely listening to this because I paid him to. We took a perilous pilgrimage to Global Wines, the mecca of hard-to-find brewskis. Shout out to them. So I sound like a Tourette sufferer with all these. So I sound like a Tourette sufferer with all these shout-outs. So yeah, whiz my way through Fuller's London Pride. Kind of average, again, very smooth. More of like a slightly darker lager vibe to my tastes than a bitter. It was interesting. It was, a bit more kind of on the lager end of things. I had Broughton's or Broughtons. You decide, or they can decide if they like us, like me. What do you do? I can't remember.
Yeah, just keep going.
So there'd be Old Jock, which is an I don't know why I've just stopped being able to speak.
You were trying to find your inner Scotsman.
I know.
And bring him out there to describe this brew.
Right, man. An exceptional Scotch ale, or wee heavy, which sounds absolutely dreadful in my accent. You can say it for the listeners, Stu.
Are we heavy?
Oh,
I even put that on. That wasn't even me. Oh. Are we heavy? Why did you 0.5 made yourself a little bit harder? No, Stu, that's not you. Jesus.
It's almost like licorice aftertaste to it. Really decent. Really enjoyed that, and an absolute classic gold label. A barley wine or special beer with a very nostalgic taste, which almost takes you back to Running from the Police.
I was gonna say I didn't notice that it said a wine on the tin.
It's a bit of an odd one. It's barley wine, but it's made the same way as a beer is. A tad different, obviously, but it's definitely classed as a beer, but it's a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, it kind of gave me the impression of something that you would nick off your gran.
Yeah, there's no grapes involved with that one. I think it's to do with the way it's made, but it's a strong beer. A few tins of that, and you'll probably be, I don't know, hallucinating that you're Nelson Mandela.
What was the percent on it?
It's about an 8%, 7.5, I think it is. Yeah, off the top of my head. But yeah, it's a nice one, a classic one. I used to drink obviously one as a kid.
And that was it.
And then
lights out,
it, dude. Lights out, my man. And quick one to cap. Another Greene King effort. I had an Icebreaker, which is sold as a pale ale, and is definitely one of the is definitely of the American pale ale variety. Right. Very hoppy, kind of light. Okay, with something to eat though. It was nice. So awesome week, man. Doing okay for a doll waller, aren't
I? Yeah. You're out there.
I mean, how much beer have you got left? I mean, are you just shooting ahead instead? Oh, he's doing okay. He's pacing himself tonight.
But that's it. I always wonder what is the gap with all this pale ale. They're always slapping a word before it. How my one was Phantom Pale Ale. We're drinking English Pale Ale, and it's what is this catalogue of varieties of pale ales? It just seems endless. There's that Star Wars beer I sent you, the Stormtrooper Galactic Pale Ale.
Yeah, I don't think that's an actual.
Do the Origins have?
Yeah, I think that's the wrong
thing. Does it have anything at all? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's my fourth favorite Galactic Ale. Yeah,
is this just your selling point? Just this is our spin on a pale ale.
Yeah, from what you know.
Fair enough. I understand when it comes to countries because American Pale Ale, right? So that's where it was brewed, I imagine. But then I've always heard of obviously your IPAs, so your Indian Pale Ale, isn't it? And then you get your DIPAs, which is it's just double.
DIPA? Oh yeah, double IPA. Yeah.
Did I go dyslexic there? But
no. I was just checking that you weren't having a stroke.
But just double? What do you mean double? We're going to have to try a double. I want to know what a double is.
No, definitely, man. I don't think I've ever tried a double IPA off the top of my head, but yeah, there's a lot of different styles. But yeah, I mean, I think just to verify as well. I mean, I think we use the term bitter over here to mean a pale ale, an English pale ale, but there's not really such thing as an English pale ale. Mm-hmm. Americans have brewed an ale that is similar to, or their attempts basically at an English pale ale. So that's kind of really what you would call an English pale ale, but these days bottled bitter is called an English pale ale as well. So it's a bit confusing, but once you wrap your head around it, it basically just is bitter is on draft, something that's kind of a draft pale ale, whereas pale ale or English pale ale would be its bottled form. But again, I think because beer is kind of so popular around the world, and a lot of different places are brewing different types of beer, that I think it's American attempts or any other country's attempts at a pale ale would be classed as an English pale ale.
Yeah.
Did I just sound really confused and confusing then?
I'm just glad that we're recording it because
What's my downfall, are you? You got it to,
it was like, I'm listening to you. I could hear the words, but they're not going together. They're not sticking. They're not staying.
I thought I did pretty well with that one.
You sounded definitely. It's like, this boy kins his bitters. He knows it. I'm glad I'm recording it so I could listen to it again tomorrow and try and understand it.
That one time that Tom sounded intelligent. Oh, I definitely got to,
save like, what was he talking about? Beer. Oh, all right. Figures.
So to sum up, you like it, man? Yeah, is it a good one?
You enjoy half bad. It's definitely quite tasty. Like to the point where it's like it is bitter, but it is
not too bad.
Yeah, aye.
Yeah, smooth. It's a lot smoother. I mean, and this is a strong bitter. I mean, it's 5%, so it's definitely on the stronger side of things. But it doesn't really taste that strong to me. As I said, it's more kind of smoother and just a tad bit of bitterness. But it's lovely. You could definitely have a few of these, one after the other. And I think that I'd be intrigued to try definitely the what was the name of it? The one that I mentioned that was kind of the standard bitter.
The crafty one.
Yeah, no, the crafty's a strong ale.
The nutty one.
The nutty, yeah, the nutty. No, sorry, the nutty hen is the What is the nutty hen?
The one that you compared to your imaginary mother-in-law.
First, the chicken or the egg?
So,
Old Hoppy Hen is the standard bitter that I was talking.
Yeah, there you go. You got there.
Yeah, that'd be the version I'd like to try, and I think I haven't seen it on draft, but I've heard that it is on draft, so it'd be nice to kind of to check it out. But yeah, man. So I think that was fairly successful. Is this good? Is this good podcasting? Is this what's classed as good podcasting these days?
It's very. It's subjectable.
Just let me know, because I'm really insecure. Really insecure, and I don't know whether this is good or not, because I'm at sea here.
I will never let you see negative feedback.
I prefer sepia.
You're going to be kept in a bubble of positivity.
That's really nice of you. I like that. I'm starting to feel like Jake Gyllenhaal now. Second beer.
Yeah.
Do you want to whiz onto that, do you? Let me just shot this like an absolute maniac.
Aye, how am I drinking it? I guess maybe you're hosting. You're doing all the talking.
We've had this conversation, Stuart.
You're yapping. I'm glugging. So I like this podcast. I do nothing but drink.
You're the brains of the outfit. I'm the.
Yeah, don't finish that.
I'll get back to you on that one. Second beer, we got absolute classic.
Aye.
Hobgoblin. This is my favourite beer of all time.
Is it?
Well, it's my favourite brown ale for sure. I think I've already bestowed that opening honour upon Trooper. But look, I'm allowed to change my mind show to show. And plus, I want merch. So it's all for the greater good.
I feel, obviously, this double bill we've had, Old Speckled Hen and Hobgoblin, is always beers I've kind of associated with kind of an older audience. Like old Speckled Hen, I'd expect like my dad to be drinking that, and Hobgoblin.
What are you trying to say?
It's kind of like my weird pal to be drinking that. It's like, oh, he can't just have a tenant. He's got to have a Hobgoblin. And
listen, you can say my name. It's okay. You don't have to, refer to me in a third person.
And I'm slightly intimidated with the words ruby beer.
Well, this is a brown ale. Is the category. I mean, ruby beer. I think it's to give it a bit more kind of glitz and glamour. But yeah, it's a brown ale. It's one of the stronger ones at 5.2%. This comes, top for me in that spectrum. Although I do like Nuki Brown, which is kind of like the gold standard, and Mans, which is like a nice, cheap and cheerful brown ale, but a lot lighter than this. I think Mans could even be classed as a mild because it's only about 3%. But I digress. Let's get into it. Let's just
let's
do it.
Crack open the bottle. And I do like the bottle top, how it is kind of just some of the lettering.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it, man? I mean, not as good as
nice little touches.
Trooper. Not as good as not as good as Trooper, but close. It sounds like it sounds there's some snap, crackling, and popping going on in my glass. No, it looks like it could be like a puzzle or something. Do you know what I mean?
I'm taking like a deep whiff and like.
Can you smell it? Can you hear it? Sights, sounds. Tell me.
First thought is, oh man, I've smelled vomit like this before.
No, I was saying the bottle top could definitely be part of like a big puzzle or something. But you definitely you'd have to have a lot of them.
You got different letters. I've got
Hobgoblin. You got M.
I've got BGO.
Oh wow! Look at you, 3 letters. I got an N and a star.
That's nice.
Must be a South Park reference.
But
have you tried a brown ale before, Stu?
I don't think so. I'm always been intimidated by things like that because I was like, oh, that's going to be bitter as fuck. Especially when you say like that, Newcastle Brown.
Yeah.
Staring at you in Home Bargain going, oh.
Shall I have a go? Shall I not?
One of these days.
It's more, again, I think I like it because you would assume that it's a bit kind of darker and a bit heavier than a normal bitter, which... it is somewhat, but I think it differentiates from a strong ale because it's got these kind of biscuity, kind of toffee flavors to it, which I think, which is it kind of really differentiates it from, a strong ale or kind of even a bitter. It's got its own little category, and I'm waiting to hear your views. So do you want to?
So what should I expect in the first taste? What's going to hit me?
Probably depression, but the second taste, you're going to get a lot of toffee and a lot of biscuit vibes.
Look at that, like that fucking pint in your hand. Look how dark that is. Almost looks like Guinness.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think it's the candlelight. Obviously, I like to get set a romantic.
No pay the lake.
Kind of. Yes.
I've only got enough battery to get us through.
I've only been employed for 2 weeks. Just chill out, man. All right. So I've got at least 2 more weeks on it, okay, before I start using candlelight. No, it was the romantic candlelight that I've set up. I think that's what's causing it to look a bit darker than it is.
Right. Okay.
Well, cheers, mate.
Cheers.
You're getting that like kind of toffee kind of vibe to it. Maybe it's in there somewhere. Yeah. I think once you start drinking it more, it was the same as the IPA we did last week. I think as I started drinking it and I got to the bottom of it, and then the kind of flavors started revealing themselves as I got close to the bottom. I think that first taste obviously is quite dark, but it's got its own kind of DNA. The brown ale has, and specifically Hobgoblin.
It's definitely far more bitter. Like maybe not in a good way.
Oh really? I don't get that bitterness from it, but maybe it's because I've been drinking it for.
You're accustomed. You're accustomed to the darkness.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think maybe that's. Listen. You spilled the beans on my Satanism background, and I don't feel good about that. We've got a lot of secrets, and I feel like each episode you're revealing more and more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need some stern words about this. Right now it's unprofessional. I'm not going to get on it. What? I'm not going to get onto it during the show. I'm going to enjoy my Hobgoblin, and then I'm going to tell the world that Stu's name's not really Stu.
I could taste licorice.
How do you feel about that?
There's definitely some sort of taste, like a. And again, is it licorice of all sorts? Is it like an iron taste? Are my gums bleeding? What's going on?
Yeah, Stu's not your real name, and also you don't like beer. How about that?
Controversy.
Anarchy.
Now we had a topic for today, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to go into this beer first?
Yeah.
Okay. If I have to, I mean, this is this is from Wychwood Brewery. It's an English brewery set up in the 80s, who are now based in Witney, Oxfordshire, and they do a whole bunch of awesome beers, kind of like fantasy branded beers with mythical creatures, which I really dig. Diceman is their stout I had to go on, which is nice. It's almost like Murphy's. And there's Imperial Red, which I think I had with you, mate, on Skype. You know the bottle artwork with the buff-looking knight dude? Do you remember that? That's that bitter.
Right.
Okay. It's really nice. Yeah, they do a cask ale called Dog's Bollocks, which, I mean, you've already set yourself up for the fall there. Do you know what I mean? And again, there's a lot of variants on this bad boy. King Goblin is the strong ale version.
I've seen I didn't know if it was a golden ale or a lager, but it was Sainsbury's seemed to have had like a variety of Hobgoblin. Yeah, so it was like the ruby beer. Then there was like I think it was like a golden ale.
Yeah, dude, they do the King Goblin is a strong ale version, and the golden Goblin. Gold Goblin.
Okay, go on, focus.
Yeah, there's an IPA as well. There's a whole family, as I said, to enjoy. But the King Goblin is a strong ale version, which I've had a few times. But I think there's already a lot of obviously biscuity and toffee notes to the standard version, so a bit more alcohol makes it a tad overpowering. But yeah, I've tried the gold. Again, not a massive golden ale fan, but it's nice. It's just called Hobgoblin Gold, and then there's Hobgoblin IPA, which I've tried, but I don't remember liking it that much. I think again, the standard version is just it's beautiful, and that's what I think of when I think Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Also, I think about Spider-Man. But like 50% of the time, I'm thinking about, Hobgoblin, the Bruce Carino. I suppose there's a whole family to enjoy. And no, I'm not going to make an incest joke because I know you want me to, and I'm better than that. So
when I'm reading the back of the bottle, it does mention brewed with like rich chocolate, crystal malts, and a blend of
crystal meth,
fugels, and Styrian golden hops. It's like full-bodied toffee flavour with a fruity finish of figs, raisins, and dates. And like, well, what are these? I'm tasting something else. I can't taste.
It's a cake in brewski form.
I feel like I must have, if anything, like a simple tongue. I do not taste all these exquisite flavours and fucking fruits, figs, raisins, and dates. I go, glug.
Dude, I'm not.
That's bitter water.
No, I myself, I don't get a lot of that. The thing I do get a lot is the kind of biscuity, the kind of toffee kind of vibe. I think that's there, for me from the get go. It's
I'm almost expecting like a Christmas fruit loaf taste now.
Yeah,
this is what I'm looking for.
It's not quite that. But as I say, I think maybe the first try, it's a little bit bitter, a little bit strong. I think that's the kind of emphasis for a first time drinker. And then after that, it kind of opens itself up. Maybe just, I think once you get to the end of the glass, man, I think it might kind of reveal itself a bit more. But less about Hobgoblin because my boy doesn't like it. So
yeah, unfortunately, it's a wee bit of a chore for me.
That's it. I don't like it either now. I'll revoke my favourite beer of all time.
Oh no, you enjoy your beer, man.
I revoke my favourite beer of all time. Award.
I'm not expecting to enjoy all of this shit, man.
That's it. Harlan's gone to number 1 now.
It cost me £1.50. I want to drink it. If he looks a little bit more quizzical, going, nope, still don't enjoy it.
Oh man, I thought while we were enjoying our brewskis, we could talk about maybe our favourite beer movie or movies.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got one that you'd like to discuss this evening?
I do. I've got 2 or 3 films I could kind of drop.
And I'm not talking about the home video of your last office party.
Okay, well, I've got less results now.
Why would you do it? Well, I've been burping away from the mic all night, man. Come on.
I've done the cover.
A little bit of decency. Come on, dude. It's going to be harder for you to, edit now.
The burping's fine. I'm just glad you've not picked up the fact that I've been farting through this.
I haven't heard that, no. You need to add less
garlic sauce in that kebab is lethal.
So it hurt my ears, and I've got...
You feeling the wind in there? Curtains
I'm feeling a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit over here, yeah. It's blowing this way. It's from the Scottish Sea.
Anyway, beer movies. Beer movies.
It's going off the rails already.
Steer the ship round. Hold, Captain! Aye. No, Pirates of the Caribbean isn't a beer movie, but... Man, I wanted you to go first in case I stepped on your answers.
No, that's cool, man.
So, I'm handing it back to you.
You hand it back over to me? That's okay.
Here, take this bottle, finish it.
You want. What do you got? Better not be Bugfest. My favourite drinking movie, there's probably more funner. Is that a word?
Funner?
Fun?
No.
Okay. There's probably more fun. Is that a word?
Moving on. Remember, we're only a 45-minute podcast here. And we haven't managed to stay to that yet.
Oh, sugar.
We've done 48 minutes. We've done 47, so I'm looking for a nice 46 on this episode.
Are you telling me this is the final countdown?
We've got less than 10 minutes.
Okay, I can try and talk about this as fast as possible.
To tell me the name of the fucking film.
Okay, so there's probably more fun ones out there than the one that immediately springs to mind. But the one that does immediately spring to mind is 1987's Barfly, starring Mickey Rourke and Faye Dunaway.
Ah.
You seen this one?
No.
Oh, okay. It was one of those, or one on that really hot streak for Mickey in the 80s, like Year of the Dragon, Angel Heart. And it might not be his best film, but it's easily one of his best performances. It's about like the dysfunctional relationship between two alcoholics trying to just like survive in LA. Did I mention Faye Dunaway's in this?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's those two kind of together. There's lots of drinking, bar fights, sweating. Not the most glamorous film, but I think it nails it in its depiction of kind of alcoholism. So it's definitely not a cheery film, but it's probably at least the most artistic or poetic piece of filmmaking that Canon ever put out. Again, known for kind of, more like your action films.
Over the top, Cyborg.
Over the top, Cobra, Missing in Action,
Superman
Invasion USA. Yeah. So again, they were more known for that, but they did have a couple of kind of, they had quite a few kind of dramas and comedies, but mostly what's more known is the kind of the big over-the-top films. And Frank Stallone actually pops up in this, which is always worth mentioning. He doesn't contribute a song though, from what I can remember, which is a shame. But yeah, he pops in this as well. But yeah, it's fantastic. I'd say probably not the most fun, but funnest. Fun, probably not the more. What? Probably not the more fun film to watch. Not one of the more fun drinking films to watch, but it's it's fantastic. Pretty underrated, I think, in the grand scheme of things, and pretty underrated Mickey Rourke's filmography, but yes, it's one of his best. I don't think he got any nominations for it or anything that year, which is a bit of a surprise because I think, acting wise, it's definitely one of his best.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
Stu and people, the two people that are listening.
Well, for me, my default answer is normally Beer Fest. Which is kind of like a film.
I've never seen it. People have recommended it to me a lot, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, because they see you fucking drinking all the time.
I think the podcast, it's got a bit more kind of mean-spirited the last couple of episodes, which...
That's how every episode goes. We're all nice and kind to each other at the start.
I'm enjoying it, yeah.
We get one bottle in, and say, you're a selfish cunt, aren't you? Yes, you are. But you keep coming back.
Keep coming back for more, man, honestly. I must have no friends.
But anyway, Beer Fest, it's like the people that done the Super Trooper movies and...
Yeah, the Warners.
It's something lizard, broken lizard.
Yeah.
And it's just strange because it's kind of like just this, it's not even like a troupe, but it's just like these group of actors and Jay, oh god, you can't say his second name without butchering it, but
the Canadian dude. No.
Nah.
Second answer, no.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, they did a film called Beer Fest, which I watched years ago with like no context, and it was just this underground like Fight Club, but for beer drinking. This competitive drinking contest, and these four Americans wander into it, get their arses scalped by I think like Austrians, and then they spend a year like just like a montage of competitively drinking, mastering drinking games, sinking beers, drinking out of like glass boots, and it's definitely a fun film. But when I went on, like when we discussed this afternoon that we're going to be talking about beer movies or drinking movies,
because we plan in advance.
Yeah, I want to be somewhat like professional, and I'm glad we did because I also found we found when googling The World's End, which is an absolute star of a film, and it is drink is kind of like a big part of that film because they're on a pub crawl, which is like related to their youth and how they're not the same. They're all grown up now, but this one thing that Simon Pegg's character's got left, like this high school legend who's kind of went on to become nothing, but always wanting to get the boys together and go on this legendary fucking pub crawl.
Yeah, fantastic, man. Do you know what? That's a good. Yeah, I think it's again, it's probably definitely one of my favorite drinking movies. I think it's probably my favorite of the
trilogy.
Trilogy now. Yeah, I think when I first saw it, it didn't quite hit me as hard as the other two. And then I think upon rewatching it, I think it might be my favorite of the trilogy. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, that was it.
I don't know why I went to the most depressing film I could think of.
Exactly.
Clearly trying to bring the show down. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, it's it's a fantastic movie, dude. Fantastic movie.
Right. Well, I think we're reaching the final minutes of the show. So
okay,
let's get our final thoughts on
something to do.
The beers.
You want to whiz off? You're quite a bit busy,
my finger's hovering over like the red end. So like, let's end this call. I know. Hey, it's nice to talk to you, Tom. I'm glad you're doing well, but let's wrap it up.
That's overselling a little bit. Yeah. So sum up the beer, Hobgoblin. It's I think it's fantastic beer. One of my absolute favourites. Probably could do with a few more years of drinking it for you, Stu, because I'm assuming
it's a thumbs down on my side.
Okay. It's a bit of a shame, a bit disappointed, but yeah, man, it's definitely it's kind of a taste. What would you say?
Disappointing.
I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad. Tell me how you really feel about it. No, it's fantastic. Yeah, one of my favorites, and I would recommend it. But how much did we get this one for? Do you remember?
I think they were $1.49 a piece.
So yeah, really cheap, guys. Hook it up. So yeah, before we exit, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. We appreciate you taking the time out in this busy life in the fast lane world we live in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it still is. I haven't left the house for 6 months, so who knows what's out there at the moment. Is it safe?
There's another lockdown right around the corner.
I can't wait for that, man. Have mutant space freaks taken over the planet? I mean, it's a question amongst many that we're going to probably answer in the next couple of weeks, along with will I ever finish level 3 of Fantasia on the Mega Drive? And also, how many people have died in the Dead Sea? Wouldn't that be a really ironic way to die? Listen, it's all coming up, amigos. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. That's it. Smell you later, brewski bros. And girls, don't forget them. They're the ones with the boobies, right? Yeah, that's cool.
Sake. You're making me drink more Hobgoblins just so I can
just turn
put up with
this. This is all I have.
Is the show getting better? I don't know.
Tell Stu he's drinking too much.
Not enough.
Get words wrong. Destroy your life. That's all done. So yeah. Goodbye.